Felt like Purdue was great tonight. I felt like Georgetown was great tonight. Felt like they were really, really physical. I thought they came in with a really good game plan. It was exactly what we had kind of hoped to get out of this game. We just hoped we would have a different outcome. We're massively disappointed with ever losing on this floor. So that's brutal for us right now. And it's not going to sit well with our guys. It's certainly not sitting well with me. And this is an unbelievable opportunity for us to learn so much. And so it's both those things, but that's never going to be an okay outcome for us. Hit me.
And Mark, you talked about learning so much about your team in these exhibitions. Do you learn more from beating preseason #1 Purdue, or do you think you learn more from taking it on the chin tonight?
I think both. I think this is really important. Like, this is a really, really important game for us. You're always looking to get exposed. Through these 6 weeks, you're trying every way you can to expose yourself. And they did an unbelievable job about exposing spaces where we don't expose ourselves, and Purdue didn't expose us. And so it's a terrific opportunity for us to learn, which is what we want right now. But at the same time, we don't do this here. So it's both.
Mark, you talked about wanting to be a top 10 team in defensive efficiency this season. That's a really important goal for you guys. What now that the regular season is almost here, what gives you the confidence that that's a realistic goal for this team?
Well, I do think we have some toughness and some fight. Although we were out physical the whole night tonight, they really picked on us, which is going to be something that I'm grateful for that, in the sense of it just puts it on film for our guys to understand better. But they were really successful. I thought Ed did an unbelievable job picking on us, and put some of our guys in the grinder, and guys, we just weren't ready to step up to that challenge as a team. They did a nice job in the first half exploiting some ball screen defensive issues, kind of getting rid of our third defender and playing a slip game. And then, they really hurt us from mid-range stuff, downhill a bunch, either coming off kind of wide pins or getting downhill off ball screens that hurt us. And in the second half, they hurt us a little bit more in isolation. I thought we were a little bit better handling those things. We got more aggressive on ball screen defense. And so most of the time that had a positive impact. It leaves me walking away thinking that there's some space for us to play that way. It's just our third defender was poor all night long. And heavy credit to Georgetown for making that part of the game difficult for us. So there's so much to learn, so much to grow. That's why we're doing it.
Mark, during practice yesterday, we could hear you say several times, make the simple play over and over again. It looked like that might have been a little bit of an issue in this one.
Yeah, it's interesting. So just in a general vibe of the game, we got slower and less patient instead of playing faster and more patient. And I know that sounds contradictory, but that's exactly what happened to us tonight. It was a credit to Georgetown's scheme and their physicality that we actually got slower and more impatient. And so this is a great opportunity for us to learn how to kind of fall into ourselves a little bit better. But I felt like we turned down the simple play a lot. There were times where we just missed some shots, but for the most part, I think Georgetown did a nice job kind of challenging us to really have to be insanely physical to get out of a power play and make a play for our teammates, and we turned it down most of the time. Like, the film's going to be pretty brutal for us, and we have nothing to do with this now but grow from it, and to feel some pain and some embarrassment, and that's I hate every bit of it, but if we treat it right, it'll serve us well.
Mark, the last time Georgetown was here was '85 for the championship game. Obviously, Rupp Arena was a state-of-the-art place back then. All of the renovations that have taken place, it's still not a place now where it's a maximized revenue, 70 suites kind of place. How do you see the balance with respecting tradition? Obviously, it means so much to play here, but we're moving towards this college athletics landscape where it's about maximizing revenue and generating as much as you can? Where do you see kind of that
Yeah,
balance?
there's not an easy answer there. You're going to be threading the needle always. You can't be held hostage by sentimentality and tradition, but you have to honor it. And so it's both. It's just like most things in life, it's both. You got to find a way to move forward. We should be leading the way, which we do. Mitch and President Capilouto are leading the way in so many incredible ways. So we want to keep leading the way with innovation and kind of being the forward-thinking group, but to do it while we're honoring tradition. I know that's actually the real answer. And so we have to find a way to do that where we're really, really emphasizing the beauty of this building that's been here and celebrated great teams for so long.
Coach, you said last season the assist-to-turnover ratio was a really good indicator as to where your team's at. Tonight it was 14-15, one more turnover. Can you just kind of speak to that discrepancy?
Yeah, for me that was the indicator of the game for us. We see a number like that, and it's our guys were actually really forceful getting downhill most of the game. We just fell into the trap of not doing that to make plays for teammates. It just is hard, and that's that part of like playing slower and getting more impatient. It's kind of like, you have to be good enough to actually put your head down and be insanely physical getting downhill, but still have the insight and the IQ to while you're doing that, to actually be a playmaker, not just be not to lose your mental approach to the game as you bring on the physicality and kind of fall into the trap. I thought we were very poor at that tonight, and I'm really grateful it happened now rather than the games coming up, because we're going to face this challenge over and over. I'll be honest with you, like, this is painful. We're not going to sleep. This is never acceptable here. It's the worst thing in the world. And I'm really grateful for it that it's happening now, because it gives us a chance to try and learn and grow. And when we need to do that, we can. I got unbelievably competitive guys. I have beautiful guys, and they care, and they're smart, and we'll really, really learn and grow from this. So in that sense, I couldn't ask for anything better. And in a terribly awful, painful exhibition game.
Mark, it's kind of obvious what Jaden brings to the table defensively in terms of his shot blocking and rim protection, but without having Jalen and Denzel, other than being upperclassmen, what are you missing when they're not out there defensively?
Well, just a little bit more familiarity with being at the point of attack, but it's a great opportunity for our younger guys to grow. It's Colin Chandler's first start ever. Jasper Johnson, was put under real duress tonight, which is exactly what he needs. That's how you grow and get better. I played Ortega one more minute than I was supposed to. That's not good. Cam Williams, got a chance to kind of feel the physicality of the game, and he's going to really grow from that. I thought it was really good for our backcourt. I think it's good for our whole team.
Mark, you mentioned Colin getting his first opportunity to start tonight. I guess, first off, can you provide us with an injury update on Denzel and what he's dealing with and the severity of that? And secondly, what Colin showed you tonight, both good and bad, on the court?
Yeah, DA's just got a sore leg. He's trying to get 100% healthy, and so we're taking a precaution with him. I'd like to have, I don't know where J-Lo's going to be, but I'd like to have those guys back in action, within the next week or two, I'm hoping. I thought Colin was exactly what you'd expect. I thought he battled. I thought he competed. I thought he made some mistakes. With Colin Chandler, the interesting thing is he played the most minutes on the team, and while playing the most minutes on the team, he was one of the leaders in plus minus in a game where we got kind of run out of our own gym. And so, even with that, he's 0 for 5 from 3. He's got 5 turnovers, but still he's a -7 where we got a bunch of -16s and -10s and -9s on the score sheet. So he has a positive impact on the court. He's going to get way better. This was a first time for him, and I think he's going to be an outstanding player. We just, their disruptive game plan to us. It was just an Aggie switch with a heavy bottom and that zoned up big a little bit of a medium zoned up big. But that package is not something we play against ourselves, but we see it all the time in the course of the season. And so that was hard for our whole team to navigate a little bit. I thought Colin was exactly what you saw tonight, both good and bad. He's gonna be a terrific player.
Mark, you talk about your 1996 team all the time, and everybody knew how great that team was going to be from the very beginning. In your time as a head coach, how long has it usually taken you to really realize how good your team was going to end up being?
I don't think it takes too long. I think this team has a ton of potential, but we're not runaway good. We're just team great. We can be team great if we lean into each other and lean into what we do. We have a chance to be great, but we're not going to just go dominate people just because our individual talent is overwhelming. And I actually love coaching this team that way. And just like I said, incredibly brutal, unacceptable, disappointing night. But this is, if we do this right, which I know our guys will, this is gonna progress us forward in a massive way. We just have to respond the right way. We're gonna learn so much. Good. Thanks, guys.